teams come out, of course, we must say everyone at BT Sport and the National League is very saddened by yesterday's news of the passing of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. Our deepest sympathies, of course, to the Queen and the rest of the royal family. As a mark of respect, all players here will wear black armbands, and there will be a period of silence prior to kick-off.
Well, we certainly should do, Adam. I think at this stage of the season, when you look at players' mentality, you look at players, how will they deal with the pressure? How will they deal with everything that's going on around them to try and win 3 points, and especially for Hartlepool, that incentive to go to the top of the league, despite the games in hand that Sutton will have, will make a massive difference. If we've seen Torquay leading the league and then Sutton managed to pull that one back, and for Notts County, it's been a slow start for Ian. The last couple of results certainly proves a lot of confidence and a lot of emphasis on that they're going in the right direction again.
Ferguson, who's such a threat in these sort of positions. He provided an awful lot of assists at York City last season, and this will be the first corner kick of the game. Came off Baldwin. First start today for Hartlepool for the man on loan from Stockport, Bennett. Could be a fearsome front to that, couldn't it, with Armstrong, who's got 11 league goals this season. Got the winner, actually, in the reverse fixture, Luke Armstrong. It's Nicky Featherstone with a new haircut, who'll take this. It's Odusina's pass, and now it's Cass, and there's still plenty forward here for Hartlepool, but it's a good take that by Slocum. Particularly if they can keep up the form that they've showed in the last couple of games, getting 2 important victories under their new manager, Ian Birchnell. There's the Hartlepool boss, Dave Challoner. Interesting, I thought, Adam, he was saying before this, Dave Challoner, that he hoped that Notts County would come with the mindset here today at the Vic of looking to win the game, because he said if they do try and win the game, he's confident it'll actually be Hartlepool who come out with the 3 points. Wants them to be ambitious, Notts.
I think what we've seen before, as we saw last weekend when Bromley went to Stockport, when you play players behind the ball and it's hard to break down, you almost want them to play their natural game and try and play players in the final third, because gaps will certainly appear. As we mentioned with Sterry and Ferguson, get forward well, you know the movement in Armstrong and Bennett, so they can certainly capitalise on that if Notts County go on the front foot and try and play in the final third more.
Looping ball in there, came off the head of Bennett. He'll be keen to prove a point, won't he, having not seen too many minutes of late at his parent club Stockport.
Well, I think it's just one of those situations when the new manager comes in Simon Rusk, and even in the first game against Woking, he put Alex Reed.
Hartlepool had to come from behind twice to take a point at Boreham Wood on Monday. Richie Bennett's first goal for the club, making it 2-2. It's came from 2-1 down to win 4-2 at Woking. Jimmy Knowles, second half hat-trick, turning things around. Cass floats in the delivery. Ferguson will keep it in, and he's put over a good ball there. And they dealt with it though, Notts County. Ellis it was who got it clear, but it drops here for Cass.
That's a great ball there from Ferguson, because he just gambles, knowing that the ball's not going to go out there. He just put it back into an area.
Sterry. Cass. Sterry. And Slocum decisive in his goalkeeping.
It's a free kick on Sam Slocum, but again, Jamie Sterry getting another cross into the box. And this is one down the left-hand side. You need to see Ferguson, he's not giving away up on it. Talk about Baldwin's defensive duties that he's going to have to do for Notts County this afternoon, this evening. Just one of those balls that's played in with first time with real quality.
Such an important role that Baldwin has in this Notts County side this evening.
He's a quality player. I saw a lot of him at AFC Wimbledon when he was so successful under Neil Ardley in the promotion they got from League 2 into League 1. I thought when they signed for the club, I thought a real good ball player. But I think sometimes when results are going slightly wrong, as a player, you try too hard and you run to certain areas where you shouldn't be. I think what Ian's done is just kind of disciplined his game a lot more, which you're quite right to say, to make the runs at the right time, to get on the ball at the right time. In that defensive midfield area, that's what's so important to do.
Nicely worked this by Hartlepool. It's a good ball in towards Bennett as well. It just wouldn't come down quickly enough for Bennett, but they do get a corner out of it. Look to threat there.
It's a really, really hard chance there for Richie Bennett. It's one of those ones, you make the run slightly earlier and you make the run on the angle, you maybe get a first-time shot. You can see the front two in the middle there, nice and close to each other. If he just maybe turned his runner slightly more to get round it, he maybe been able to take that one first time, but because he came on square to it, had to take that touch.
Chance from the corner then for Hartlepool. It's a deep delivery. Slocum had to stay out of that huddle in the box. Probably a wise decision by the Notts County goalkeeper.
Must be one area that Notts County have really struggled with for a number of games, and from the set play area, 2 against Woking, 1 being from a set play, 1 then from a set play. I think Hartlepool have started the game really, really well. And you play in these games where you come into a certain tactic for your Notts County player, but then have to respect that Hartlepool are getting all possession, they're playing what you almost have to roll your sleeves up and work through certain periods of the game to then try and create yourselves opportunities.
Ferguson with the ball into a great area again, and it was Holohan looking to apply the touch. It was very brave goalkeeping once more by Slocum. That sort of ball, Adam, must be an absolute nightmare for a goalkeeper.
It's a great ball because he takes it early. I mentioned about Enzio Baldwin. Look where he is on the screen there. He's so slow to close him down. He has to be braver and almost go man for man against him. I mean, that's David Ferguson in a nutshell there. Touch at your feet, ball into a quality area. Say Slocum was brave to go into that to win himself a foul, but again, it's just another warning sign for Notts County.
To see his side play positively into the midfield, which of course would then in turn perhaps lead to chances in the final third. But it's when they're being pressed at the back that he said he wants them to be brave in possession. Not just today, but going forward in general. Griffiths. We're back here by Featherstone, and now Hartlepool look to go on the counter-attack. Ferguson out wide. Bennett and Armstrong waiting in the middle. Will it be a good cross? It's pulled back by Armstrong. It's Shelton with a chance to hit it! And only just wide. His reaction tells you all you need to know about how close that came to giving Pools the lead.
It's one of those deflections that either goes one side of the post or the other side. I have to say the awareness of David Ferguson was exceptional. So many times you see a player get to the byline and they really just hang it up to the far post, but he doesn't. And he sees Shelton at the edge of the box, who gets a quick touch and a quick shot. And then the deflection just takes it wide of the post.
So Featherstone to take this. Cass. He's got lots of under-23s experience, Lewis Cass, but really seems to be enjoying life. And certainly the more physical, the more competitive National League, as Chickson's dispossessed there in a dangerous position, helped out by Ellis, who then put in the challenge, and he's not happy with Shelton the way that he went to ground there, and there was a little bit of afters there too. Now that's going to be very interesting to see again. Ellis going to ground after what looked like a coming together with Shelton. It's going to be, as I say, fascinating to see a replay of that, to see if there was any contact at all in both incidents. Certainly Ellis was very angry that Shelton went to ground, and then there was clearly a reaction, certainly verbally, from Shelton. I'm not entirely sure whether there was any contact between the two.
Well, the referee was in an excellent position to see that. My initial reaction thought that Shelton made more of it. Ellis was unhappy about the way that Shelton went down. And then you wonder how much contact there is from Shelton onto Ellis for Ellison to go down. He's looking for that 100%. He's already going down, trying to get the penalty. It's a good decision from the referee. For me, that's a dive, and that's what you see afterwards. And then it's just poor from Ellis, because there's not too much in that.
Cleared by Featherstone. Reeves, Griffiths. It's Reeves again. Back it went to Rawlinson, forward now up towards Knowles. Little competing with the youngster, but Knowles has done well to come away with it here. Baldwin. First time we've really seen him a long way forward, and he's looked for Griffiths here, and there are numbers in the box for Notts. It's a great ball, and perhaps should have been 1-0. Wootton arriving on the end of that cross, and he wasn't far away with the header at all there. Notts County's top scorer. It's the best move they put together.
Well, they had to be really, really patient for this opportunity and chance to come up. And it's the first time we've seen Knowles on the shoulder, making the run in behind. Baldwin in the final third. Griffiths making that run forward. It's a brilliant hung-up ball there. The quality that Carl Wootton is in the air, the quality that he shows in the 18-yard box. I think he'd be disappointed with that chance. Because he does get the run, doesn't he? But doesn't get the execution.
Certainly is due a league goal. He's gone 7 league matches without one. Carl Wootton has got 12 in 28 league appearances. Liverpool maybe 11 games unbeaten at home, but I should point out Notts haven't lost in 10 away from home. 5 wins, 5 draws. It's their longest without an away defeat since they set a club record of 19 without loss away from home between February and December of 2012. Ferguson, last minute of the half. Shelton and Holohan! Tidy finish from a man in form. 4 goals in 4 games now for Holohan. And in the final minute of the first half, it's Hartlepool who are in front.
Well, you have to say it's a goal that these sides certainly deserves. They've dominated this first half, and what it's been missing is a goal. And they finally got that now from a player, as you quite rightly mentioned, Adam, is in form. But Shelton takes a massive amount of credit for this, because it's the composure, the layoff, that lays in Holohan to open his body out and pass that into the bottom corner. So many times, Shelton maybe would have taken the shot. He jaunts Rawlinson in, and he just plays that little one to the left-hand side, and it's an excellent finish, and it's a goal that certainly Hartlepool deserve.
Well, he was speaking ahead of this game with great excitement, Holohan, about the prospect perhaps of having supporters at the Vic for the playoffs should Hartlepool reach them. The con by Wootton, Knowles. Barnett's getting forward in support. Knowles got on the turn, he's done well here. And he had to go, and wide it went, but positive play that from the man who got a hat-trick in the second half at Woking on Monday.
I think what you're seeing in the first couple of minutes of the first half, the second half, is what you're trying to see from the first half and why the changes have been made. You can see Knight up there, you can see Knowles alongside Wootton, who's going to try and win those flick-ons in the centre, up against Gary Liddell, and it's what's in and around him. And we know Knowles has got quick feet, we know Knowles got an eye for goal.
We've had little to cheer about for some time. The club hasn't finished higher than 12th place in any division in any of the last 13 seasons. But it's a title race that they're in at the moment, as are Notts, particularly when you consider all the games in hand that they have. Featherstone plays forwards to Bennett. He'll hit it from some way out. It's a good save that by Slocum. It was really travelling that from Bennett.
It was a poor pass from Mark Ellis into that midfield area that gets cut out quite easily, and all of a sudden, give a ball away there, you get a pound the counter. Featherstone there picks up a good forward early ball. Decent strike there from Bennett. There's certainly a comfortable one there from Slocum to save, but
now, this is interesting. 3 forward here. Knight looking to use his pace, and then Liddell. I think he knew exactly what he was doing there. Liddell knew that Knight would do him for pace, and perhaps took one for the team there. Space now for Featherstone. Holohan, the goal scorer, bursting into the box here. He's got Armstrong in there, and Bennett was there too, but it was Ellis who headed clear. Reeves now to bring it forward for Notts. Brought down by Knowles, who's got Knight to his left. Wootton's getting forward as well. Tried to dig out the shot.
Jake Reeves down the right-hand side of him there. If he did maybe just looked up and held his pass slightly more before taking the shot on, That's why the two are on there. You can see them high up the field and pushing Cass and Liddell back. Aldosina just ran away there because the Reeves have run down the right-hand side. Just gave Knowles that little bit of space to get the ball out of his feet. And certainly Ravers had that one covered.
The surprise for me, Adam, from a Knott's perspective, is having made that change to bring Knight on. One of his biggest assets is his pace. I don't think they've ever got him into positions or tried to exploit that pace at all yet.
I think you just maybe have to be a little bit more direct. And that's on the diagonal more to him on the left, on the right, on the left-hand side, because Rawlinson's got a decent diagonal on him. But they haven't really brought him into the game much. If he plays down the middle, then he can play through the thirds and then play those little side balls.
It's a lovely flip that by Wootton. Knowles couldn't quite take it in his stride, but his ball back has found Reeves, and Reeves will have a go! Oh, that was close. Really close from the captain.
Miles better. Carl Wootton goes up for a header. You've got to surround him, and he does so well there to be Liddell. Look at how close Knowles is to him. And then Reeves just knows the opportunity's there for him. I think the touch is just slightly heavy. And then he has to try and bend it around Lewis Cass. It comes out to close the angle down. He just can't quite get the execution. But it's certainly a positive couple of minutes now for Notts County that are now dominating possession and now dominating decent areas.
Just note the earlier start time for that next Saturday. Normally the tea time slot, but it's the lunchtime slot. Next Saturday at 1, on 1 I should say. Knocked down by Wootton. Knowles on the turn.
You have to take encouragement from that. Ball into Wootton, ball players in around him, Knight and Knowles. Get their first shot on target with 10 men. Got to take that as a positive.
Kelly Evans. Turn by Knight. Here's that pace from Knight, and there's his cross. Finds Wootton. But it's such a surprise for me that it's taken this long to really see that from Knight since he came on in the first half. He's such an asset, can be such a threat. One of the quickest players I've seen at this level.
Well, we saw against Wrexham when he came on, we saw in the second half against Woking, his pace is blistering. For any defence, it will just turn him. Even with 10 men, you'll get Notts County will get enough of the ball to turn them. And if he doesn't get into the final thirds with the ball, then you ask questions of Odesina, maybe to play out for a throw-in, and then you'll be able to squeeze up. It certainly seems, even with 10 men, that there are opportunities for Notts County to get the ball forward and get into dangerous areas. Then you have to have the quality.
Featherstone have rather played within themselves in this second half. Hartlepool managing the game. Understandable in some ways, I guess. Against a promotion rival with a lead, something to protect. There is such potential at this club if they can get things right on the pitch. A League One club as recently as 2013. They were one win away from the Championship in 2005. And they've got a free kick here in a great position. Relatively cautious in terms of how many are being sent forward here. Hartlepool, but Bennett's in there, Holohan and Cass are there too. Donaldson on the edge of the box. Featherstone surveying his options. Featherstone, it was headed cleared by Reeves, and Sterry's going to hit this on the half volley. Took a couple of deflections there.
Decent defending there from Reeves, and just a reaction afterwards to try and run out and close it down on the header at the near post. I don't think that shot from Sterry is going to be troubling Sam Slocum too much, but the deflection gives Hartlepool a chance.
placed by David Ferguson. Post this time. Good sets of players appealing. It's going to be another corner.
Decent defender in the near post area.
As a playoff semi-finalist in the level below last season, David Ferguson with York City. This Hartlepool side here, 5 minutes plus added time away from a victory that would take them top of the National League. It's been brought down here by Bennett, and the shot's in. That should seal the points. And Hartlepool, it would seem, are heading to the top of the National League. It's 2 goals in as many games for their recent arrival, Bennett. You saw how Dave Challoner celebrated. That shows how big a goal he knows that is for Pools.
Well, it's a patient goal that they've certainly had to wait for. They had to wait for the first one in the first half, and they've had to wait for this one in the second half. It's excellent movement from him, because he starts at the far post and he just peels out and gives himself that little bit of space, just walks off Rawlinson slightly, who gets drawn slightly towards the ball. It's a great first touch with the right foot, and then it's a quick touch with his left foot that puts it into the net. Massive goal for Hartlepool.
Well, what the inspired siding he seems to be proving here, Richie Bennett. 2 goals in 3 games, and, well, if ever a look told you all you need to know about how today's gone for Notts County.
Well, it's another set play, Adam, if you want to really single this down. 2 of the Woking goals, one came from a set play that ended up a second phase that they got the goal from, and then one was from another set play that foul was given against Diarra that Woking end up taking, and now they've just conceded another one. But as you mentioned there, the injury to Cal Roberts, going down to 10 men, already making all. It's okay doing it against your Wokings and teams like that, against your Hartlepools and against your Wrexhams and against the big sides. It's going to be vitally important for them to really, really step up and show their quality. Still learning, and that's, I think I maybe been slightly too critical of his side's performance against Wrexham, but it's at this stage of the season where mistakes can't really be rectified, and you can't afford to go on too many bad runs to see yourself through.
Is this time of the year, though, Adam, this time of the season, the time to bring in a new head coach who is learning the league at this stage of a season where Notts County expect to be promoted? It's a massive ask for him. Birchnell's side's looking to get one back. As we go in towards the final 2 minutes of normal time, O'Brien. The one thing you would say is they've continued to work exceptionally hard, Notts County, but there's just been a real lack of quality. There was a touch there off the goalkeeper, and it will be a corner. Reeves to take it then. Knowles will keep it going, looking to get it out for another corner. Reeves to try again. Wootton trying to get something on it. He did, and pulled it across towards Knight. They couldn't finish it off. Still having a go here, Notts. Certainly haven't given up. Kelly Evans to hit it long this time. Final minute of normal time. It comes through to Ellis. The contact it needed. Fell to him really nicely.
He's on decent form, isn't he, in front of goal? Ellis with winners against Aldershot and Wrexham as well. Difficult angle there, isn't it, to get a decent strike towards goal. Wootton yet again being the improviser by challenging. It's night and day between both of them. Stockport have got a decent squad going forward. Torquay have as well. It's so finely balanced now.
Well, the side with the best home record in the National League have done it again at the Vic. Dave Challoner's Hartlepool head to the top of the National League. A goal in either half, the first from Holohan, his fourth in as many matches, very tidily taken in the final minute of the first half, and then the second from a man whose loan move from Stockport would appear to be an inspired decision by Dave Challoner. A second goal in as many games for Richie Bennett. It's been a nightmare afternoon, really, for Notts County and their manager, Ian Birchnall. We'll wait to see how long Callum Roberts is going to be out injured. That could prove very significant, but it's certainly been Hartlepool's day. Adam